Hey guys, welcome again. This will be coming back to a full hour of a Pilates recording for you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll begin lying down on our back. Couple of options for positioning of the legs. Knees, bent, feet grounded either lined up with the hip bones, narrow stance in the front body, or if you'd like, feet out a little bit wider, gently letting the knees come together, and that kind of helps sometimes to help open up the lower back. So whichever one feels best for your body. And we'll have the arms lengthened down, pulling them away about 45 degrees with your palms facing up, the shoulders rolling open and the backs of them touching ground to broaden your chest space. Reaching the crown of your head to the back of your mat, always imagining that you're holding a tennis ball between your chin and chest throughout your practice to keep your neck nicely elongated. Eyes will close, bringing focus inward. Begin to take a deep inhale through the nose. Softly purse your lips and exhale. A steady stream of air out through the mouth. Again, a deep inhale, make sure to fill all the way up. A long, steady exhale, make sure that you empty out completely. When you empty completely, when you breathe in next, it pulls from the pit of your belly, draws up into your ribs, fills into the top of your chest. When you exhale, you're going to empty from the top of your chest, traveling down through the ribs, and then squeezing it out again through the lower belly region. You're going to start to feel your core muscles engage just at the very bottom. Like an accordion, when you breathe in, your midsection is going to expand out as your lungs fill with air. And just like that squeeze box, you're going to squeeze the breath out from start to finish, and then let your sides start to draw, knit, and pull right back to the midline of your body. A soft, easy inhale through the nose, a powerful exhale through your mouth. Like you're forcing air through a straw, very audible now. With the ease in your inhale, the belly will rise and your core muscles stay relaxed. With the power of your exhale, those muscles begin to activate, contraction of core, firming up of the belly. Even taking one hand on your stomach is just a nice added way to really feel the mechanics of your body as you inhale and exhale. So I'd like you just to stay here with this breath and really connect and build relationship between your breath and your powerhouse. Can your abdominals pull in even more deeply each time you exhale? And as you tune and tap into sensation and movement, that can help clear your mind of all other things and allows you to really stay present within your practice. So taking that time to really bring the focus there. Let's take 4 more cycles of breath. A couple more. Last one. Go ahead and gently open up your eyes from here. If you had your feet out wide and your knees gently touching, I'm going to ask you to take the knees and feet to hip width. And then bring the arms just in a bit closer to body. I'm going to work first with our pelvis here, our pelvic bowl in its neutrality, and finding that within ourselves. So you'd imagine your pelvic bowl were an actual bowl of water. When you inhale, I'd like you to tilt your pelvis back as if you're spilling water onto your navel, peeling and curling your tailbone off the floor. Then I'd like you to tilt the pelvis forward as if you're spilling water to your heels. You're going to feel your lower back arch off your mat space and your tailbone ground to the floor. Let's tilt back again, breathing in. And tip forward, breathing out. Let's just do 2 more. Rocking back. Rocking forward. One last time. When you rock back, you're going to feel your pubic bone try to zip up towards your belly button as well. And then exhaling, tailbone rooting down, like diving into the earth. And then we're going to find the spot in between those 2 endpoints for our neutral pelvis. From here, I'd like you to take the soles of your feet together and let the knees slowly open out to their sides. Once the legs have opened, I want you to take your hands close by your groin rather than the knees, but still at the inner thighs. And I'd like you to just lightly press down, not only down on the legs, but down, but like spreading down towards the knees as well. This helps to open up the hips. Just take a moment to breathe into the space. Sometimes it's helpful to kind of arch the back here and kind of tilt the pelvis forward from its neutrality. Sometimes keeping a neutral pelvis doesn't allow the hips to open and release as much, so it gives it this little bit of extra space. Take 3 more cycles of breath here. Afterwards, if you did tilt your pelvis forward like I had, find your neutral pelvis, let the knees lift up a bit, then take your hands to the outside of your legs to help bring them together again. Now we're going to take the feet out a little bit wider than shoulder width. Your knees will also do the same, a wide stance with your legs. Arms open to T, palms are up, backs of arms pressed to floor. Continuing with our hips, when you breathe in next, I'd like you to lower your legs towards the right side of your workspace. And then as you exhale, slowly pull the legs back up to center. Then you'll lower your legs over to the left as you breathe in. And then pull back up using core strength and breath work, exhaling. Now, before we continue again, I want you to feel the back side of you. When our legs shift from one side, then the other, the sides of us from behind, right, the side body almost, the opposite side likes to lift a bit. So what I want you to do, the next time your legs lower to the right, I want to feel your left side body, the back end of it, press firm to floor. So that will hinder your legs from getting close or touching floor, but more efficient when it comes to stretching into the fronts of the hips. So now when you lower your legs to the left, feel the back of your right side press firm to floor so it doesn't pull up, and then lift legs back up to center again. I'd like you to take 2 more to each side and just be very mindful of your backside as you move through. One more to each. Make sure that your core does most of the work to pull the legs back up to center. The legs themselves should be along for the ride. One last time, over to the left. Working into the fronts of the hips, and then pull back up slowly on your exhale. Once you're landing here, let's step the feet in so they're back to a narrow stance. Take an inhale while you're here. Engage your lower core, lift your feet off the ground, and slowly pull the knees into your chest. Hands on the knees, circle your legs. Roll out and massage out your lower back, your SI joints, just above the tailbone. Take a moment to pause and then reverse direction. Good. Then bring the legs back into still. Continue to use your hands. Next inhale, you're going to separate the legs and open them wide. Pause here. Then as you breathe out, sweep them around, bring them back together again. Inhale, you're going to separate and open the legs, but as they open, use your hands at your knees to kind of hug the knees in closer to your body. and then circle down and through. Come back together. Continue this movement here. Hip mobility, some more into the joints this time. Make sure that your hands never leave your knees. If we push the legs too far away, we rely then on our hip flexors. They start to grip. Instead, we want them to stay relaxed. Let your hands do the work. Let's do a couple more. But don't forget that subtle pause right at the opening. One last time. Breathing in, hugging in slightly. And then release, circle through, bring back together. Return your feet to the ground. Arms back beside you. Next, we're going to take the right leg, cross it over the left leg, thigh over thigh. The knees pull back towards the chest. And then with your hands, grab hold of the leg with each hand as low down as you can reach without your shoulders pulling up to your ears. From there, you're going to actively pull back equally on both of those legs to draw them in closer to your body. When that happens, our pelvis tilts back and the tailbone lifts up. So we want to bring our pelvis back to its neutral space. And then you're going to feel your sits bones stretch straight forward to the front of your mat. You can keep your feet low and relaxed, or you can flex the feet and begin to lift them, taking the legs a bit more into 90. That may be something that you want to explore. But draw the shoulders down away from your ears. Make sure you're still holding that tennis ball lightly between your chin and your chest. And then you breathe into your right hip. Let's do a couple more. Let's do one more round of breath. And go ahead and let that stretch gently release. I'm going to switch to the other side. Left leg crossing over, right leg. Knees draw in. Hold on to legs where you can, as low as you can. Pull back equally on the legs. Notice the tilt back of your pelvis. Bring your pelvic bowl back to neutral. Feel the sits bones stretch forward. Shoulders pull down. The feet, again, can stay relaxed and low or flexed and lifted if you wish. Focus on breathing into your left hip now. So we're getting into the outer portion here that kind of wraps around to your glute. Let's stay here for a couple more. One last. Good. Once you've completed, release, stretch, uncross legs, and place both feet back to the ground. Knees and feet line back up with your hip bones in the front body. Let's stretch those arms really long beside us and feel your fingertips reach down to your heels. You're going to actively feel the shoulder heads plug down and the shoulder blades slide down your backside as well. As you breathe in next, I'd like you to take both of your arms, reach them up to sky, then overhead. And as they reach overhead, seal those ribs down and print your spine to the floor. Then as you breathe out, I'd like you to slowly open the arms out to their sides and then slowly circle them back down beside you. Sometimes when we move slower with that, you can start to feel where the stretch begins to move and travel. It's getting into the fronts of the shoulders and a bit into the pectorals while also working shoulder mobility. Let's do that again. Inhale, arms overhead, core engaged. Then keeping your arms on the ground or as close to the floor as you possibly can. And that's what helps to stretch into the chest and the shoulders. Let's do a couple more. Reaching overhead, belly firms in. Circle out, sweep down. Once more. Good, I'm gonna open wide and bring the arms back beside you once again. From here, let's draw the right knee into the chest. Clasp behind the thigh, close behind the kneecap with both hands. Sometimes it's nice to interlace the fingers as that provides a stronger grip, is what we're looking for as well. And I want you to hug that thigh close to your body. Take a breath in. As you exhale, still trying to hug the leg in, I'd like you to start to straighten the leg up towards sky. It more than likely will not straighten completely, but it will start to stretch into your hamstring. And then rebend the knee, draw the heel down towards the glute on an inhale. So thigh stays hugged and tight the whole time. And then you just try to straighten your leg towards the sky, starting to get into that hamstring. And then rebend the knee and draw the heel to glute. Let's do that twice more. Start to straighten the leg and then make sure your tailbone stays grounded. Rebend, draw heel down. With this last one, I'd like you to start to straighten the leg and you're going to find your own edge with the thigh pulled in close. Mine is here. Then once you found your edge with this, I'd like you to start to take the back of your leg, press it forward into your hands and begin to let the arms now straighten out completely, pushing leg away from body. Now you want to keep that energy of the leg doing such, but then rebend the elbows and use your hands to draw the leg in to a point where it still stays straight. So now you're finding your second edge, but without the knee bending at all. And then we have our hamstring stretch here. So we breathe into that space right behind at the back of the leg. And as we hold the stretch, I'd like you to flex your foot, drive your heel to the sky. Notice the added sensation into your calf, and then point the toes, which gets into the shin and the top of the foot. Again, heel to sky. Point the toes, and we'll do that one more time. Flexed foot, pointed toes. Keep your toes pointed. Release your hands, take the arms beside, let the leg draw out in front of you so the knee stacks above the hip. Externally rotate your thigh. As you breathe in, I'd like you to take that right leg, begin to lower it downward slowly with resistance. And as you breathe out, I'd like you to firm up the belly and slowly pull the leg up to stack above the hip again. Inhale, lengthening out through the toes as you lower the leg downward towards the earth. Firming up that belly, lifting leg to stack. Let's do that one more time. Lowering, slow, lengthening. Firm it up, pull it up, and then pause here. Take your left leg to tabletop, so lining the knees up, but ankle is on the same plane as the knee. Tailbone is rooted, and now we want to make sure that left leg never moves. Right leg again comes downward, and since this is a little bit more intense, the range of motion in that movement may change and become a bit smaller. That's okay. Coming down slow. And then make sure that left knee doesn't start to pull in, as it does have a tendency to want to. We'll do that once more with resistance coming down. Lifting. Pause here. One more set of 3. Interlace your fingers, stick your hands behind your head, lift up to tips of shoulder blades, keep your elbows wide, eyes to navel. Right leg again coming down on an inhale. Again. Check in with your other parts here. Once more, coming down, your left leg, your head, neck, and shoulders, your arms. Good, knees to chest, hands on knees, head and shoulders down, rock gently side to side. So as we get into our exercises, I want us to also focus on the non-moving parts, right? The parts that we should keep still, because within that, we are strengthening the stabilizing muscles to help keep our bodies in stillness. All right, let's go ahead and return both feet back to the floor. Once we've kind of lined up the knees and feet with hips, I want you to draw the left knee in, clasp with interlaced fingers, just below the back of your knee, and then hug that thigh close and tight. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, keep that hug as you try to straighten that left leg towards the sky. Again, just working and finding your edge. And then rebend knee, pull heel back down to glute. So since we're easing into this, you may notice Each time you do it, you get a little bit more length to the leg. Maybe, maybe not, but could be something that occurs. Rebend the knee, pull heel to glute. Let's do 2 more. Extending upward. Find your end point. And then rebend the knee. So the goal isn't to straighten the leg here, not just yet. Yeah. Lengthening the leg upward, find your edge, keep the leg there, then feel the back of the leg start to push away, straightening out the arms. Keep the energy. Now rebend elbows. And then as the leg stays straight, we pull in and find our edge here. Then we hold that space and breathe into the hamstring, the back of the leg. Tailbone stays grounded, firm. And as we hold the stretch, I want you to flex your foot and then point the toes. Again, heel to sky and point. And we'll do that one more time. Flexed foot, pointed toes, but then we'll keep our toes pointed, releasing leg, arms beside and pushing the leg a bit more in front, externally rotating. Knee stacks up above our hip. On an inhale, the left leg begins to lower downward. Firm up the belly, lift leg up slowly as you breathe out. Again, coming down with resistance, breathing in. Pull the navel down to spine, slow pull back up. Let's do that once more. Inhale, reaching out through those toes. When you lift the leg back up, make sure the knee doesn't pull behind the hip. Pause here. Right leg now to tabletop position. Keep it steady, keep it still. Left leg again, coming down on an inhale. Slow pull up on the exhale. Again, left leg coming downward. Right leg stays very, very still. Exhale, pull up. Again, the knee is going to be tempting to pull in. So if it had, you just push it away again. Once more with that left leg coming down, breathing in. Keep here. Interlace fingers, hands behind head. Come up to tips of shoulder blades. Actively pull elbows back. Last set of 3. Come down. Again. Last time. Knees in, head down, hands to knees. Take a moment to recover here. I'm going to try to fiddle with the light. I try to do this early enough so that the sun wouldn't hit the window. Here we are. See if that helped. All right. Oh, I did. Cool. All right. So what I'd like us to go through is like a few series of these really isolated and controlled movements, even though that's pretty much the base of the practice, one of the principles of. But these ones in particular are a bit more physically challenging to do in terms of steadying and stabilizing the body while one part has movement. So we just kind of did that there with the lowering and lifting of one leg at a time. Now we're going to do it in more of a circular motion with the leg, coming into single-legged circles. So we're going to start with our feet grounded, arms beside us, close in and pressed down firm. I'd like you to stretch the left leg all the way to the floor and flex the foot. I'd like you to draw the right knee to chest, hold on with both hands, and then hug the leg close to body. Take a moment just to stretch the glute and the lower back. From there, let's go ahead, release that hug and lift your right leg to the sky. Pointed toes, external rotation. You can have a little bend in your knee, but remember, if you bend your knee, you have to readjust. The foot is going to come out even more forward than it once had when your leg was straight. So just be mindful of that. Single leg circle. So we focus on keeping the backs of our hips, our SI joints, equally rooted so they don't seesaw or wobble. And let's actually take our peace fingers, pointer and middles, and lightly hold them onto our hip heads in the front to keep them steady as well. It's the entire pelvis we want to stabilize through core strengthening. On your breath in, I'd like you to take your right leg, cross it slightly over the body. Very small and slow, draw circles sweeping down, opening out to the side, and then restacking. Always pause at the top. We do that again. Feel the fronts and backs of your hips. Stay sturdy. Let's do 2 more in this direction. Cross over. Use the left leg to your advantage. Make sure it's not just hanging out. It is working as well. Pushing out through heel and anchoring down. 1 more time. Cross over on an inhale. Sweep through, slowly lift back up. Pause at top. Let's reverse it now. Open the leg out to its side, which is a bit more challenging to do. Sweep down, across, lift, stack. Open on an inhale. Exhale, sweep down, across, lift, stack. Let's do 2 more. So again, we're not feeling any seesaw or wobbling happening here. Strong and still. Last one. After completion, right knee pulls in, right hand on the knee, circle the leg around, moving from the hip joint. Good, so a lot of the times, remembering in our practice, it's more important what's not moving than what is. All right, let's go ahead and stretch that right leg out, flex the foot, anchor it down. Take a moment to draw the left knee in, holding on with both hands. Hug the leg to body. Good, then we'll go ahead and lift the leg to sky, pointed toes, stacked up knee, external rotation. Remember, if you do bend the knee, you have to readjust to find it stacking again. Inhale, the leg crosses slightly over. The core is working the entire time as you move through the circular movement to restack the leg. Again, cross over, breathing in. Sweep down, open out, sweep up, stack. Let's do 2 more. Check those hips again. Take your time. If you do feel wobbling, that's an indication that something is just too much within you, whether that's size of movement, speed of movement, or maybe the core just gave way. Let's stop here and reverse direction. Opening the leg to start. Sweep down, across, lift, and stack. Make sure that you do maintain external rotation throughout. Opening leg on an inhale. Sweeping around, lifting up, exhale. Let's do 2 more. Slower movement means better control. Let's do that once more. Opening out on an inhale, circling through, stacking up, and then drawing the knee in, left hand onto knee, and circle the leg around. Massage out that hip flexor. It's light. Yeah. See if that helped. A little bit. All right. Let's go ahead and draw both knees into the chest. Arms close down beside us. Spine rooted in. Arms pressed down firm. Let's take an inhale. And then exhale. Slowly extend both legs long and away from our body, pointing through the toes, finding length. Pull in through your hip flexors on an inhale. Again, reaching away nice and slow, taking the entire breath out to get to extended space. And then draw the knees in again on an inhale. Let's do 4 more here. Draw back in. 3 more times. Good, inhale it in. Remember, you can always readjust the positioning of your extension. Higher to sky, more ease. Closer to ground, more heat. Draw back in. 1 last time here. Take your time. At the very bottom of your breath is when the legs are finally fully lengthened out. And then we pull the knees back in again. Hands on knees. Rock gently side to side. And let's go ahead and lift both legs to the sky next. Root the tailbone down, externally rotate both legs so you create a Pilates V with your feet. We're then going to extend the arms to the sky, stacked above shoulders. We're going to interlace all but thumbs and pointers. We're going to take a breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to lift up head, neck, and shoulders, open the legs to a V, and then reach our fingertips straight through the legs. Then we're going to lift the legs back up as we lower the head and shoulders down and restack the arms. Exhale, open to V. Use your core strength to peel your upper body up. Arms stretch straight through. Lower back down, lift the legs. 4 more of these. Working on hips and core. Return down on an inhale. 3 more times. Release down, breathe in. Twice more. Coming down, squeezing the legs together. Once more, open, reach through, lift, hold here. Upper body lowers down a half of the way, and then we pulse it through with core strength. 5, 4, crunch it in. 3, 2, keep breathing. 1, and then let the head and shoulders lower, the legs lift, the knees pull in, hands on knees, and a little bit of movement if you'd like, or stillness if you'd prefer. That was a tricky one. Okay, let's take our feet to the ground, stretch the legs out nice and long, both of them. Push out through your heels, make sure your feet run parallel, and that there's this rolling in and hugging in of your inner thighs to midline. Seal the ribs down and stretch the arms behind you overhead. Palms faced in, hands a little wider than shoulder width apart. Zip your pubic bone up to your navel. As you breathe in, begin to peel off the floor, arms, head, and shoulders. Exhale, lifting tall, stacking spine, hinging to take a slow stretch forward over your legs. Let your head finally hang heavily through your arms. We'll stack upright on an inhale. And we're going to roll down slowly on the exhale. So roll-ups, we're going to add some extra Pilates movements in with our roll-ups, as sometimes we do. We'll start here with that, but the beginning part does remain the same. So you're going to breathe in to start to lift. Exhale, feel the legs press down, the heart lift high. Hinge and fold over legs. Here's when we add on. We're going to breathe in to roll up to seated and pull our arms open to a cactus position, 90-90. When you exhale, I want you to twist over to your right, getting taller as you rotate. Center on an inhale. Eyes stay at horizon. Draw between the shoulder blades and twist over to the left. Feel the right arm resist you. Come back through center. Let's do 1 more to each. Focusing on our waistline, doing the work to move our upper body. Center as you breathe in. To your left. Come back through center. Lift your arms straight up to the sky. As you breathe out, tuck your tailbone, push through heels, round your spine, scoop out your belly, and return to the floor. Let's do a second thing. Inhale, start your lift. Pull up slow, heart lifting tall. Hinging and folding and stretching. Let's stack upright. This time the arms pull directly out in front of you. As you exhale, tuck your tailbone, scoop your belly, roll back a notch, hold here, take an inhale. Lift your right leg off the floor, exhale, quad and core. Take the right leg down, breathe in. Left leg. Take the leg down on an inhale. Let's roll back a little more on the exhale. Stay here, breathe in. Drive out through your heel, lift the leg up slow. Move nothing else. Take the leg down, breathe in. Right, arms are like a statue, chest is like a statue, torso is like a statue. Take it down on an inhale. Let's roll back a bit further. Exhale. Stay here, breathe in. I'm gonna do 2 more. Right side. Take it down, breathing in. Isolate and control left side. Moving independently from the body. Take it down on an inhale. We're gonna do one more, so I'm gonna come back a little bit further. Stay there, breathe in. Right side, pulling up. And then lowering down. Then your left side, exhale, pulling up. Take the leg down on an inhale. Return to the ground, arms overhead. One more set of roll up. Inhale, begin it. Draw up, stack tall, hinge, fold. This time as we stack up to seated, we're gonna create two fists with our hands and bring our hands to the outside of our shoulders. Elbows pull back, draw between the shoulder blades. Chest up, ribs sealed in, looking straight on. Imagine that we're holding onto weights. Let's exhale, press the hands up to sky and let them narrow so they're directly above the shoulders. Then we take the hands out a little bit wider as we pull down to the outsides of the shoulders. Yeah. So as we press up, we take the weights so they're shoulder width distance apart. And then we come to the outside of the shoulders when we draw back down. Let's do 4 more of these. Press up, working into the shoulders. Pull down, we're working into lats, traps, and rhomboids, the upper back. 3 more, press to sky with shoulders. Back body does the work to draw the hands back down. Let's do 2 more. Don't lose that posture, so check in on it. Pull back down. One last time. Press to sky. Inhale, pull down to the outside of the shoulders. Exhale, release your hands to the ground. And then let's gently melt forward. Let your feet relax. Let your upper body melt. Let your arms be heavy and let your head be heavy here. I want you to breathe into your back body. Deep inhale. Long exhale. Again, a breath in big. Breath out. Once more, inhale deeply. As you breathe out, I'd like you to slowly roll and stack your body back up to a seated position. From here, we're gonna sweep the legs around and we're gonna transition onto our stomach side and continue to do some more back body strengthening. So on your stomach side, we're going to have the hands underneath the shoulders, the arms hugged in close to sides, the elbows pointing back to our heels, and the forearms lifted off the ground. Forehead also will be resting. Mine's just lifted so that you can hear me a lot more easily without my face in the ground. Our first exercise, we're going to be focused on the space between the shoulder blades, our rhomboids, and then the abdominals, the core, and the front body. Take a breath in while you're here. On your exhale, draw between the shoulder blades, start to pull them down your backside as your chest comes up and your head comes up as one solid piece. So we're not going to lose that tennis ball that we had between chin and chest. Float back down, take an inhale. On your exhale, this time as you lift your head and your chest, your hands lightly press down into the ground, but then feel the heels of your hands, the energy of them drag to the back. Helps to pull your shoulder blades down your backside. And then float back down, breathe in. We're just gonna do 2 more of these. So exhale, feel the hips press into the ground as your chest and your head pull up. Come down, breathing in. Once more. And go ahead and lower back down to the floor. Once you have, extend the arms out in front of you. Hands shoulder width, fingers spread wide, forehead again resting to the ground. You're going to notice that your arms frame your ears in this space, and we never want that to change, even through our movement. Press your hips to the ground as you inhale. Now as you exhale, lift your arms, your head, and your chest up as one piece. This is much more challenging, so the lift is more than likely going to be smaller than it once was. Come down on your inhale. Right, so we never lift our head above our arms. Exhale. Arms, head, and chest all work as one piece, as if they're locked into space. Float back down on your inhale. We'll only take 2 more here. Keep the tops of your feet and your hips pushed to the ground as you pull up slow. Lower down, breathe in. We're strengthening into our middle back muscles here. On your exhale, last one, arms, head, and chest, slowly draw up. and then gently float back down. Once you've lowered here, cross one arm over the other, rest your forehead to forearms. Your feet should be shoulder width distance apart, so if they're a bit more narrow than that, we're just going to widen them. Pelvic triangle, once again, is your anchor point. Press it down, breathe in. Squeeze your glutes, exhale, lift your legs off the floor, point back with your toes. Lower back and glute strengthener. Take the legs down, breathe in. Again, activate the glutes and then begin the lift. Take it down slowly on an inhale. We're going to do 4 more of these. 4. And bring it down. 3 more. We never want to kick our legs up quickly. We want to make sure that we do strengthen the muscles within our lower back, but that we don't compress our lower back. Let's do a couple more. Take the legs down, breathing in. One last time. And then the legs gently come back to the earth. Once they have grounded, let's uncross the arms, extend them back out in front of us again, forehead back to the floor. This is a full body experience. Hips press down, take an inhale. Exhale, slowly lift everything off the floor. Arms, head, heart, and legs. Stay here, stiffen up your extremities, and paddle and swim. Alternate the movement. Keep your head nice and steady, your torso nice and steady, and your chest elevated. 5, 4, keep on swimming. 3, keep on breathing. 2, 1, rest. Cross arms again, lower everything down. Bend your knees, lift your feet to the sky. Windshield wiper your legs, whether you do crisscross or work them side to side. Good, and then come back into still and extend the legs behind you. Hug them together close. Take your hands underneath your shoulders, and then just very gently, you're going to press yourself back into a closed-legged child's pose. We keep the legs together. Remember that it stretches a bit more into the lower back when we do. And then when you kind of land in that space, I'd like you to breathe into your lower back. Deep inhale. Long exhale. Again, breathe into your lower back. And then exhale, dump it out. One last time, inhale. And then exhale, let it go. Wonderful. Let's slowly come out of our child's pose. We're going to go ahead and transition onto our left side body to do some outer hip strengthening. Once you've made your way onto your left side, you can either be propped up with your, you can have your head propped up with your hand or resting on the arm completely. Your body should be in a straight line of energy. Your right hand is on your hip, your elbow points up to sky. You want to push out through both of your heels. You're going to press the entire left side of your body down firm into the floor, and you're going to hover your right leg. I want you to slightly inwardly rotate that thigh so that your kneecap always points straight on, as well as all 5 of your toes. And line your neck up with your spine. And we begin. On your exhale, we lift that right leg up a little bit higher through outer hip strength. Make sure to activate the core as well. Hover the leg on an inhale. Make sure to keep internal rotation as the leg pulls up, as it will be tempting for the knee to roll open instead. Hover the leg, breathing in. We're going to do 4 more here. 4. Resist as you come back to hover so it doesn't drop down quick. 3 more. Always checking back in with your elbow. Sometimes it likes to pull back or fall forward, so we want to keep it pointing straight up. 2 more. Slow draw up using hip strength. Hover when you breathe in. Once more. And then go ahead, take the leg down half of the way. On your next inhale, be very mindful of this. We're going to bend the right knee. Start to draw that knee towards chest. As we do, feel the shoulder, elbow, a hip. Try to roll forward, which will actually just keep it stacked. And then push away with that leg all the way back out to its side. A lot of core needed here for balance. Draw the knee in, make sure that we don't fall back with shoulder, elbow, or hip on your right side. And then push it all away again, pressing out. 2 more. Draw in, knee. Try to keep it level with the hip if you can throughout the movement. Once more here, pull that knee in. Make sure the foot pulls out in front, not behind you. And then press the leg out and pause here. What I'd like us to do next is combine these 2 exercises we just did, the lifting and lowering of the leg, the bending the knee, pulling it in, and then pressing back out. I'd like us to do a couple just at slow pace, and then I'd like us to increase the pace afterwards. So the rhythm of movement will be as such. We're going to take that right leg, we're going to lift it, we're going to lower it. We're going to pull the knee in, and then we're going to press it out. Again, up, down, in. Let's do it one more for good measure. Lift, lower, knee in, press out. Now pause here. So we're going to do that at a much quicker pace, which means now the lifting of the leg and the pulling in of the knee are not going to be nearly as big as what they once were due to the speed. When we speed up the pace, we have to make the movement smaller so that it can stay more stabilized. So it's going to look as such. We're going to lift, lower, knee in, press out, up, down. It's all coming from that hip. Again, lift, lower, knee in, press out. Good. Up, down. Everything else is still. 4 more. 4, knee in. 3 more. Lift, knee in. Almost there. 2 more times. Up, core tight, in. Last time, guys. Lift, lower, knee in, press out. Leg can come down. Bend the knee to the floor in front. Just tap out that hip. So we have to make sure that like the muscles that surround the hip are engaged fully. If we just start to kind of think about the movement from the kneecap or the ankle or the foot, or the toes rather, we lose control. We have to imagine or understand that the movement comes from the bigger part, the hip here. All right, let's do all that on the other side. Coming over to our right side, and then we'll stretch those hips out much better afterwards. Look at the sun right in my eyes. Okay, so straight line, stacked hips, flexed feet, left hand onto your hip, elbow to the sky. My hand is going to stay right here, guys. Sorry. Right side body presses down, top leg hovers, internal rotation. Here we go. Exhale, lifting the left leg, and then taking it to hover. Lift. Should start wearing sunglasses to class. 4 more. 4. Belly strong. So don't forget about engaging your abdominal muscles every time you breathe out and the leg lifts up. 2 more times. Firm up belly. Inhale, breathe in. Hover. Once more, lift. Take down half of the way. Breathing in, we're going to bend that left knee, slowly pull it in towards chest, and then push it out. A little bit more challenging with your hand across your forehead like this. You can give it a whirl if you'd like to. Draw the knee in, be very mindful. Use your right side body to your advantage. Press it firm to ground. Let's do 2 more. Draw knee in slowly. Drive it back out. Last one here, guys. Pull the knee in and then push it all out. Pause here. So let's just do a few at slow pace so we get the rhythm down, and then we'll move right into the full version or expression of. So we start by lifting the left leg, lowering it, knee drawing in, pressing out. Lift, lower, knee in, drive out. Last one. Up, down, in, out. So remember, when we go on to pace, the movement itself is smaller and it all stems from the hip. Here we go. Lift, lower, knee in, press out. Up, down, in, out. Again, lift, knee in, up, down, in. What do you got? 4 more here. 4. Knee in, really stabilize your body. Lift. Knee in. 2 more times. Up, down, in. 1 more time, guys. Lift, lower, knee in, drive out, rest. Whew. Bend the knee to the floor. Tap out the hip. Take it out of the sun. All right. When you are ready, we're going to press gently up to seated. Oh, that feels much better. Okay. Then the soles of your feet are going to come together. The knees are going to open wide. You're going to hold on to the ankles firm with your hands or your shins. Right? And you're sit up nice and tall. You're going to start to hinge forward at those hips to lean in closer to your legs. You will be looking at the ground, but about 2 feet in front of you, not straight at your feet, so that you provide a little bit more length. Then seeing if you can start rounding your lower back, your middle, your upper, and then finally the head gently falls forward. You want to breathe into those hips, breathe into the lower back. And a bit of the inner thighs as well. Let's take 1 more breath in here, guys. And then as you breathe out, begin to slowly roll and stack yourself back up. The head should be the last thing that stacks tall. Once it has, go ahead and cross the legs. Sits bones grounded, heart lifted high. I'm just going to take a little shift over to the left here. I want you to have the arms beside you, tented fingers, step the hands a bit off to the side to push off the ground with, to lift yourself up nice and tall. I'd like you to tilt your head over to the right ear to right shoulder. If it's available to you, you can wrap your right arm around the head and place your hand along the left side, and you can lightly then press down. If you're choosing to do that, a lot of times we start to cave in and collapse. I want your chest up. I want both shoulders to fold back. Stretching out the left side of our neck. When you breathe in next, I'd like you to lower your chin towards your chest. And as you exhale, lift your chin towards the sky. Again, chin coming down when you breathe in. Chin lifting up when you breathe out. And we'll do that 1 last time. Chin to chest. And then chin to sky. Let's take our head back to starting position. Keep it there. Release your hand. Take your arm down beside you and then very gently pull the head back up to neutral. Let's do the other side. Left ear drawing down to left shoulder. Make sure your head didn't twist at all. Your face is still squared forward. If it's available to you and you'd like, left arm can wrap, hand along the right side, and you can lightly press down. We never want to force that. Then lift and open up. As you breathe in, I'd like you to lower your chin towards your chest. Exhale, lift your chin towards sky. Again, chin towards chest when you breathe in. Chin to sky when you breathe out. Once more, chin to chest. Chin to sky. Let's take it back to the starting position with your head. Keep the head there. Release your hand. Let the arm come down beside you. And then very gently lift the head back up. And once it has, gentle tips from side to side. And then some nods straight up and down. And then we'll go ahead and look straight on. Have your palms facing the sky, shoulders rolled back, chest lifted up, ribs sealed in. Take an inhale, reach the arms out to their sides, lift them up high to the sky and touch the hands above your head. As you breathe out, I'd like you to pull your hands down to your heart center. Let's do that again. Inhale, sweep down, out and up, touching above, and then exhale, bringing within. One last time, guys. Inhale up high to the sky. Exhale, connection to yourself. Keep your hands at your heart. Bring your chin to your chest. Close your eyes and bow in. Just a little thank you to yourself here for showing up to the practice, doing the work, and being dedicated and motivated to you, right? Your health, your well-being, and always continuing to keep our bodies moving as best we can. So thank you guys so much for another great Pilates class. I hope you enjoy this and more to come. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.